Welcome to this video on story points. You can download the exercise workbook to follow along in your own copy of Tableau. Story points let you create compelling, interactive, data-driven stories. Stories consist of specific views or dashboards in sequential presentation. For example, walking the audience through a discovery you made as you were analyzing data. Dashboards can tell you the what, stories tell you the why. Let's see what that means. Here we have a workbook that already has several visualizations and a dashboard built out. Story points allows us to present them to communicate the insight we want to share. To create a new story, click on the Story tab down at the bottom. We can size this story so it best fits our dimensions. Just like when building a dashboard, our previously created pieces of content are arranged here on the left. Hovering brings up a preview. Let's click and drag our first sheet into the canvas. We can give this point a caption by clicking in the navigator box. I'll be adding captions as I go to help keep track of the points. You may want to pause the video to type the captions yourself. If the caption doesn't fit, we can click here and adjust the size of the navigator. This visualization is still fully interactive, as we can see by clicking through the filter. Did you notice that when we changed the state of the viz, the word Update appeared above the navigator box? A major benefit of story points is the ability to preserve a specific state of a given visualization, like a filter or highlighting. Clicking Update preserves our modifications for this point, essentially taking a snapshot of the filter selection we made. Alternatively, we could revert by clicking the Undo icon. When a change to a point is made, we're also presented with the option to save as a new point. It's the same underlying visualization, but with that filter selection saved as the default. Let's expand our story. To keep track of what sheets have been used, this blue check means that the item has already been added to a story. There are a lot of ways to add additional points to a story. Let's go through the options. First, dragging a piece of content to the Add a New Point box. This box only shows when we click and hold a piece of content. We'll highlight critical orders and update. We can also add content by using the button next to the navigator that says New Blank Point. Double-clicking on a piece of content brings it out into the story. We'll highlight again and click Update. As a note, if we bring out the wrong thing, simply dragging in a different sheet will replace it. Hovering over a box also brings up the Delete button. To bring out a sheet to a specific position, we could drag it to the navigator until we see this blue arrow, like so. Click on the column header and Update. If we want to display more than one visualization on a single point, we have to bring them out as a dashboard. What happens if we bring out a dashboard? Here, because we changed the default size of our story, the dashboard doesn't look good when it's nested. To easily fix the sizing, go to the underlying dashboard by clicking on this Go to Sheet icon, and then we'll set the size as Fit to Story. Now back on the story, it fits perfectly. Similarly, if it's a visualization that doesn't fit well in the story, you can go back to the sheet by clicking on the icon and changing the fit in the toolbar. Entire view generally works pretty well. On the story, we see that those scroll bars are gone. It's worth noting that any change on the original sheets are reflected in the story points, and most changes to how the viz displays need to be made on the underlying sheet itself. Here, we'll go to the underlying sheet and hide the color legend and exclude some of the data. Back on the story, the color legend is gone, and so is that bar. If we ever need to rearrange content, it's a simple drag and drop in the navigator to change the order. Click and hold on a box, then move it to where it needs to be. The blue arrow indicates where the point will go when the mouse button is released. Now that we have our basic points, what if we want our audience to know they can interact with this first map? To annotate the story, we simply add a description by dragging it out. This is a fully editable text box. The default background color is yellow, but that can be changed by going to the Story menu and selecting Format. Here you can control various aspects of the story's formatting, such as default shading, the title font, alignment, border. We can change various aspects of the navigator box, such as the color and font, and we can control the descriptions. As finishing touches, checking or unchecking this box toggles the story title. The title is fully editable as a rich text item. We can also toggle whether or not we want the back and forward buttons to show on the navigator. We always have the slider so we know where we are. Thank you for watching this StoryPoints training video. We invite you to continue with the on-demand training videos to learn more about using Tableau Desktop.